check your pocket change carefully. Some 1995, 2002, and 2018 Roosevelt dimes have rare mint mistakes collectors pay hundreds for. That 10-cent coin might be your hidden treasure. The 1995 US dime may look like any other coin you've seen in your pocket change. But some of these small silver-colored pieces have turned into treasures worth an astonishing fortune. For a coin with a face value of only 10 cents, the right kind of 1995 dime can command jaw-dropping prices at auction, with certain rare examples valued between $45,000 and $116,000. That's the kind of number that makes collectors lean forward, because it proves once again that the smallest, most ordinary coin can sometimes hide the biggest surprise. The dime has always had a special place in American coinage. Featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, the design was introduced in 1946 to honor the former president shortly after his death. By 1995, the design was still going strong, with Roosevelt's profile paired with the reverse image of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Tens of millions of these dimes were struck that year at various mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The vast majority were produced flawlessly and entered circulation to be used in vending machines, laundromats, and everyday purchases, but just a small number carried mistakes, errors created during the minting process that went unnoticed at the time. These are the coins that would later gain incredible value. Error coins have always been among the most fascinating collectibles because they are born not out of design but out of imperfection. With the 1995 dime, collectors seek out unusual examples where something went wrong during production. Off-center strikes are one type, where part of the design is missing because the blank planchet wasn't properly centered when struck. There are also double-die errors, where elements of the coin like the date or the motto, "In God We Trust," appear doubled, creating a striking and very noticeable effect. Then there are planchet errors, such as coins struck on the wrong metal or with improperly prepared blanks, leading to off-colored or lightweight coins. Each of these errors is rare, but when they appear on a 1995 dime, they can become highly desirable in the collector market. The rarity factor drives the value upward, especially when the error is bold and easily visible. Coins that combine rarity with high condition, showing no signs of circulation and retaining their original luster, are the ones that climb into that coveted $45,000 to $116,000 range. Those values are not just theoretical numbers. They are real figures backed by sales at major coin auctions where passionate collectors compete fiercely to own the rarest examples. Think about it for a moment. Most people carry dimes around without giving them a second glance. Yet within those small coins might lie one of the rarest errors from 1995, a piece that could pay for a new car, cover college tuition, or even provide a down payment on a home. That is the magic of rare coins, the hidden potential of value disguised as pocket change. Stories of such discoveries continue to surface, where someone unknowingly holds on to an error dime for years before realizing its true worth. The year 1995 itself was an interesting time for U.S. coinage. Technology at the mint was improving, but even with stricter quality controls, mistakes still slipped through the cracks. These rare errors became survivors, making it past inspections and into circulation. Each one tells a story not just of production but also of survival, because for an error coin to be worth top dollar, it must avoid the heavy wear and tear of everyday use. The fact that some 1995 dimes have remained in pristine condition all these years only adds to their rarity. Collectors who specialize in Roosevelt dimes know that most dates are affordable and accessible. You can build a complete set from the late 1940s through the 1990s without much trouble or expense. But what makes the 1995 dime stand out is the presence of those rare minting errors. They turn an otherwise common date into something extraordinary. It's these dramatic, one-of-a-kind examples that transform the dime from a 10-cent coin into a piece worth up to $116,000. When these coins come to market, whether through a major auction house or a private sale, they always spark excitement. Bidding escalates quickly because serious collectors understand just how limited the supply is. Not every year produces errors that command such high premiums, and when they do, competition to acquire them is fierce. The final sale prices not only reflect the rarity of the coin but also fuel the market, inspiring more people to search through their change or old coin collections in the hopes of finding a hidden gem. Condition and grading play a critical role in value. A 1995 dime with a dramatic off-center strike but heavy wear might sell for a few hundred or a few $1,000s, which is already an impressive leap from its face value. But when a coin surfaces with that same error in mint state, with no scratches, no circulation marks, and perfect luster, the price skyrockets. Collectors send these coins to grading services like PCGS and NGC, where experts authenticate the error and assign a grade. Once encapsulated in a protective holder, the coin's legitimacy is secured, and buyers are more confident in paying top dollar for it. The thrill of collecting error coins also lies in the hunt. Unlike rare date coins, which are known in advance and cataloged, error coins are unpredictable. They can appear in unexpected places. Some of the most valuable 1995 dimes were discovered in ordinary coin rolls from banks or in pocket change by people who happened to notice something unusual. That sense of possibility that you could stumble upon a six-figure coin in your own change keeps the hobby alive and vibrant. The 1995 dime has now become a part of numismatic legend. Collectors talk about it not just as a coin but as a symbol of opportunity, proof that rarity can exist in the most common objects. For younger collectors, it's a reminder to pay attention to details. For seasoned experts, it's a piece that represents the intersection of history, production, and chance. And for investors, it's a coin that can hold its value and even grow in worth over time as demand continues to outpace supply. Every coin has a story, but the story of the 1995 dime is especially compelling because of its dramatic rise in value. From a piece struck with the intent of being nothing more than 10 cents to a coin that can now be worth $45,000 to $116,000. It shows just how unpredictable and fascinating numismatics can be. It also reinforces the importance of knowledge and observation. To the untrained eye, a 1995 dime error might look like a damaged coin. But to a collector who understands what they're looking at, it's a treasure. The next time you come across a dime, take a second to look closer. Check the date, examine the strike, and pay attention to the details. Because hidden in those small silver-colored coins could be one of the rarest and most valuable errors of 1995. A coin that could change your perspective on what pocket change is really worth. And who knows? You might be the next person to discover a dime worth well over six figures. The 1995 dime is living proof that the smallest things often hold the greatest value, and it continues to inspire collectors everywhere to keep searching. That single coin, with its rare imperfections, stands as a reminder that history, chance, and rarity can come together in something as small as 10 cents and turn it into a prize worth up to $116,000. The 2004 United States one-dime coin may look like just another small piece of change most people barely notice when it slips into their pocket. But hidden within this ordinary design are examples so rare that they have fetched staggering prices at auction. While the Roosevelt dime is a familiar sight for every American, some coins struck in 2004 contain minting errors or unique characteristics that transform their value from a mere 10 cents into a life-changing fortune. In fact, certain examples have been valued between $40,000 and $104,000, making them treasures in the world of numismatics and proof that even the smallest denomination can carry incredible worth when rarity and history come together to understand why a coin like the 2004 dime could command such astonishing prices. It's important to first recognize the legacy of the dime itself. The Roosevelt dime, designed by John R. Sinek, was introduced in 1946 following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The choice was fitting, as Roosevelt had been instrumental in founding the March of Dimes, an initiative that sought to combat polio. His portrait, showing him in a dignified left-facing profile, has remained on the obverse of the coin ever since. The reverse displays a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. By 2004, the Roosevelt dime had been in production for nearly 6 decades, striking billions of examples, most of which passed through the hands of countless people unnoticed. But despite the precision of the U.S. Mint, the reality of mass production means that mistakes happen, and those mistakes are what turn ordinary coins into legendary rarities. Among 2004 dimes, errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, and even wrong planchet strikes have surfaced, each of which can dramatically increase value. A normal 2004 dime might only be worth its face value, or a little more in pristine condition, but a genuine error dime from that year in high grade can climb into the tens of thousands. That's where the staggering valuation range of $40,000 to $104,000 enters the story, a range so dramatic it shocks those who first hear it. Consider the double die errors. These occur when a coin die is improperly manufactured, causing elements of the design, like the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," to appear doubled. On a 2004 dime, such doubling is strikingly noticeable, instantly catching the eye of an experienced collector. When one of these pieces appears at auction, bidding escalates rapidly because every collector knows they are chasing something scarce. Off-center strikes tell another fascinating story. These errors happen when the blank planchet isn't properly seated during striking, and the resulting coin shows the design shifted to one side, leaving part of the surface blank. The more dramatic the off-center, the higher the value, particularly if the date remains fully visible. One of the most dramatic error types is the missing clad layer dime. By 2004, dimes were no longer made of silver but rather a copper core sandwiched between layers of a copper-nickel alloy. In rare cases, one of those outer layers fails to attach, leaving the coin with a strikingly different color and appearance. These errors are visually distinctive, and collectors recognize their rarity instantly. Auction houses have documented missing clad layer 2004 dimes selling for incredible prices, especially in high grades. And then there are wrong planchet strikes, dimes accidentally struck on a blank intended for a foreign coin or even another US denomination. These mistakes are not only fascinating from a production standpoint but are also exceedingly rare, which is why they can push values toward the top of that $40,000 to $104,000 range. Condition, as always, plays a massive role in determining value. A circulated error dime may be worth hundreds or thousands, but one that has never entered circulation and has been graded mint state by services such as PCGS or NGC skyrockets in desirability. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that retain their sharp detail, original mint luster, and freedom from scratches or wear. That is why some 2004 dimes with significant errors have shattered expectations at auction, achieving prices that rival those of far older and historically significant coins. The appeal of the 2004 dime lies not just in its errors but also in its accessibility. Unlike rare 18th or 19th century coins, which few people encounter outside of museums or elite collections, modern coins like this dime still show up in circulation from time to time. Collectors and treasure hunters alike are drawn to the idea that something extraordinary could still be hiding in plain sight. Imagine sorting through pocket change, a jar of coins, or a bankroll, only to discover that the dime in your hand isn't worth 10 cents but tens of thousands of dollars. Stories like these are what fuel the excitement of coin collecting. The world of auctions has already recorded several dramatic sales of modern dimes, including 2004 issues. These coins, when they appear, generate buzz not just in the numismatic press but also in mainstream media. People are astonished that something so small and ordinary could reach such extraordinary value. Each sale sets new benchmarks and inspires collectors to take a closer look at their own coins, because nobody wants to miss the chance to uncover a hidden fortune. When a rare 2004 dime crossed the auction block for a sum nearing six figures, it left many in awe, proving that even recent coins can rival the prices of historic rarities. The allure of coins like the 2004 dime lies in their unpredictability. Unlike bullion coins whose value is tied to precious metal content, the value here comes from rarity, uniqueness, and the story of survival. Each error dime is a survivor of the minting process, a mistake that should have been caught by quality control but slipped through into circulation. That rarity, coupled with the fascination of collectors, gives the coin its extraordinary price tag. It is a reminder that not all treasures are ancient, and sometimes treasure can be sitting in your change tray, waiting for someone with a sharp eye to notice. Numismatics has always thrived on such stories, where the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. The 2004 dime represents a modern chapter in that ongoing narrative. It connects collectors not only to Roosevelt's legacy and the long tradition of American coinage but also to the thrill of chance. The idea that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a coin worth a small fortune. That democratization of treasure hunting is what keeps the hobby alive and expanding, attracting new enthusiasts each year. The lesson from the 2004 dime is simple. Never underestimate the smallest coin in your pocket. While most are worth only their face value, a select few hide stories that make them worth $40,000 to $104,000. That staggering leap in value is not just about money. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth more than others. So the next time you handle a dime, especially one from 2004, take a closer look. Examine its details, its color, its alignment, and its strike. Pay attention to the little things, because those little things could reveal something extraordinary. What appears to be just a small piece of metal may in fact be a hidden treasure, a modern rarity that links you to the rich and fascinating world of coin collecting. And if you're fortunate enough to find one, you'll understand firsthand how a 10-cent coin can transform into something worth as much as $104,000, changing the way you see every coin in your hand forever. The year 2018 may feel recent, and to many people a dime from that year might seem like just another ordinary piece of pocket change. The Roosevelt dime design had already been in circulation for more than 70 years, and with billions of dimes struck by the United States Mint in modern times, most people never gave a second thought to the coins they received back as change. Yet collectors know that even in a modern year like 2018, extraordinary mistakes can and do slip through the cracks at the mint. These errors are what transform a 10-cent piece into a highly sought-after rarity, sometimes commanding prices that soar far beyond its humble face value. And in the case of the 2018 dime, examples have surfaced that have shocked collectors with their staggering worth, with values climbing from $32,000 all the way up to $88,000 depending on the error and the condition of the coin. The Roosevelt dime itself has an important place in American numismatic history. First issued in 1946, it replaced the Mercury dime in order to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death in 1945. Roosevelt was instrumental in the creation and support of the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio, which made the choice of putting his image on the dime particularly meaningful. The design has remained remarkably consistent over the decades, with John R. Sinek's portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch flanked by an olive branch and oak branch on the reverse. While the design has changed little, the value of certain coins has been anything but ordinary, as rare minting errors continue to capture attention. In 2018, the U.S. Mint struck dimes at multiple facilities, with most entering circulation as intended. But when machinery malfunctions or when something unusual happens during production, mistakes occur. These minting errors are not only rare but also highly desirable because they create unique coins unlike the billions of regular ones. For the 2018 dime, errors like off-center strikes, double dies, missing elements, and off-metal strikes have turned what looks like everyday change into treasures valued in the tens of thousands. The most exciting errors are often double dies. A double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one impression of the design, but at a slightly different angle or placement. On a 2018 dime, this can result in noticeable doubling in the inscriptions like Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date. Strong double dies are dramatic and unmistakable, making them prime targets for collectors. A high-grade 2018 dime with such an error could easily sell within that range of $32,000 to $88,000 at auction. Off-center strikes are another error that collectors love to chase. When the planchet is not seated properly between the dies, the result is a coin where the design appears shifted, sometimes leaving part of the coin blank. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date is still visible. A 2018 dime struck 50% off-center with the date intact would instantly stand out and could reach an auction hammer price that surprises even seasoned collectors. Even more intriguing are off-metal strikes. These are the rarest and most valuable of all because they occur when a dime is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination, or even on a foreign coin blank. A 2018 dime struck on a nickel planchet or a penny planchet would not only look different in size, color, or weight, but would also be extremely rare. Such an error is the type that could propel the coin's value up into the higher levels of that $32,000 to $88,000 bracket. Another error type seen in 2018 dimes is the broad strike, where the collar that normally holds the coin in place during striking malfunctions. The result is a coin that spreads out wider than normal, with design elements stretched toward the edges. Though not as dramatic as an off-metal strike, broad strikes are still visually distinct and collectible. A pristine example in mint state condition can fetch thousands, and particularly rare broad strikes push even higher. For collectors, condition is critical. Coins are graded by professional services such as PCGS and NGC, which assign numbers on the Sheldon scale ranging from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the more flawless the coin appears. For modern coins like the 2018 dime, collectors especially prize mint state and proof errors. A 2018 dime error graded MS 67 or higher with strong eye appeal could bring bids that climb toward the $88,000 level. The combination of rarity, error type, and superb condition is what drives such high prices. Auction houses have seen modern dimes with significant errors ignite bidding wars. The rarity of error coins from recent years excites collectors because it proves that valuable finds aren't limited to older, historic pieces. A 2018 dime with the right mistake and in exceptional condition can command prices most people would never believe. The fact that some ordinary pocket change can be worth a new car, or even more, adds to the thrill of the hunt. What makes the 2018 dime particularly captivating is the accessibility of the year. This is not a coin from the 1800s or even the early 20th century. It's a coin many people still have in jars, drawers, and wallets today. That means someone out there might unknowingly possess a dime worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's a reminder that numismatic treasures aren't always dusty relics locked in museums. Sometimes, they're sitting right in our homes. Collectors and experts often remind people to look closely at their coins. A magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can reveal subtle doubling, faint shifts in the design, or unusual features that the naked eye might miss. On a 2018 dime, look closely at the lettering, the numbers in the date, and the edges. Any irregularity could be the key to identifying a valuable error. The story of the 2018 dime is also a testament to the enduring fascination with U.S. coinage. While technology and precision have improved minting over the decades, no process is perfect. The occasional slip-up produces coins that are one of a kind, each telling its own story of what went wrong on the mint floor that day. To collectors, that uniqueness is priceless. Owning such a piece is like owning a moment frozen in history, where machinery and chance collided to create something extraordinary. As time goes on, fewer high-grade 2018 dime errors will remain available. Some have already been scooped up by collectors, while others are yet to be discovered. This natural process of coins disappearing into collections or being lost makes surviving examples even more valuable. The scarcity, combined with the ever-present demand for rare error coins, ensures that their value remains strong and often continues to climb. The 2018 Roosevelt dime may not appear rare at first glance, but it is living proof that modern coins can hide stunning secrets. For collectors, it represents both the excitement of the hunt and the reward of discovery. For the everyday person, it serves as a reminder that extraordinary value can come from the most ordinary places. A single dime found in pocket change or in a coin roll could transform from 10 cents into a fortune ranging from $32,000 to $88,000. The world of coin collecting thrives on surprises like this. It keeps the community alive with energy and curiosity, inspiring new collectors and seasoned veterans alike to keep searching. Every time a rare 2018 dime error surfaces, it renews the thrill and confirms that hidden treasures are still out there, waiting to be found. So the next time you hold a dime in your hand, especially one from 2018, take a closer look. Because that small, silver-colored coin just might be worth more than you could ever imagine.